The villain living in your mind. Can a trauma personality version of a fractured self integrate into an ISE and bond to the synaptic pathways of that self destructive program and unconsciously supersede control of the conscious mind? Yes, but let's break down what all that jargon means in a simpler fashion. The trauma personality version of a fractured self means that at some point in your life, your adrenal response was activated and the amygdala was sending cortisol through your body. Think of a time when your fight, flight, freeze, fawn response was active. This constitutes as a separation from our conscious mind of an event and the creation of an ISE, initial sensitizing event. The ISE is where the subconscious splits what the conscious mind cannot handle and blocks off those synaptic pathways of memory. This is meant to be a short-term response to trauma and meant to be dealt with later and fully processed. When this is not dealt with and we just go on with our day, the subconscious will naturally integrate it as a program in your neurology. It's begging you to heal the ISE. That timeline version of yourself wants to come home and not be separated. It achieves recognition by triggering your adrenal response in a stronger way when a similar feeling is present. It then turns to a self-destructive program such as anxiety, depression, uncontrolled emotional reaction to seemingly small situations, anger, and guilt, to name a few. How does it unconsciously supersede conscious control? Think of it like this. In our formative years, we develop our personality, but due to traumas incurred, we may find ourselves less happy when we normally are a happy person. You might find that you had a strong passion for drawing, but someone once told you that your art was ugly. You then become overcritical and give up on doing art. You may even obsess and fuel yourself to be even better. The result is the same. An outside force affected your natural state and way of interaction. Your subconscious used a trauma personality to take over your conscious, and as a result, it changed your behavior. The Native Americans would refer to this as a soul shard, and soul retrieval would be the natural course of action for resolution. In Western terms, we would use hypnosis and traumatic memory resolution or body mapping to produce an abreaction. The abreaction is the popping of the ISE and release of the emotional response so that we can integrate that part of the personality back into its proper place. Well, I don't have money for a hypnosis session. What can I do? Simple answer. Go within and listen to your body. It will tell you everything you need to know if you can just hold stillness long enough to hear all the pain crying from your core. I want you to try a simple process, which I'm going to outline for you. It may seem a little complicated, but I can assure you that nearly anyone would be capable of doing this without guidance and being able to have profound success with internal trauma resolution. Try doing this whole process once a day for 30 days. The most important thing that should not be missed when we deal with trauma healing is creating a state of deep relaxation in which the body can feel safe enough to express. Step 1. Just sit. Take a large breath through the mouth and then exhale completely and empty the lungs without taking in another breath. Now take a deep breath in through your nose. When the feeling to breathe comes, expand your belly on the inhale and keep tension all over the body while you hold the breath for 10 seconds. Upon exhale, you'll rapidly breathe for 30 seconds. Think of it like you're almost hyperventilating. Repeat this whole process 3 times. Step 2. Transmute. Simply observe. Make note of any sensations you feel without judgment. Find the feeling that is talking to your body right now. In a state of parasympathetic engagement, we can notice any twitch of uncertainty or just a sensation in any body part that may not be generating an emotional pulse. Don't use the mind. Instead, just allow yourself to be aware of what you are feeling. We are not going to engage the feeling with thought. Say, ah, with resonance. Ah, till you run out of breath, directing the feeling to your forehead and letting the ah be the focus of directing the feeling. Say ooh with resonance. Ooh. Repeat the previous process. Say with resonance. Repeat the previous process. Do a count of 7 for each tone you generate. For example, you'll do the ah 7 times, then the oo 7 times, and then the 7 times. Once finished, put it all together. You'll do one last round, which will be aum, ah, oo, Do the last round for 7 counts as well. Aum. Should sound something like that. Step 3. Reclaim self. Focus on all the sensations in your body right now. Attune your focus to the heavy feeling sensations, the slow pulses, the dragging, the lumpy, gritty, and raw. Allow all the similar ones to come up, and with closed eyes, you'll see flickers of images, memories, if you will. Picture them clearly, just long enough to bring them to surface level. We're not going to hold on to these or fully view them. You don't have to relive the trauma. Once they start coming up, focus them in your chest like a black blob or whatever shape and color comes up for you. Use your imagination and just picture it happening. Trust the process. Draw as many memories as you can to the center of your chest. Once it builds up enough and feels heavy and constricting, only then can you release. It feels amazing to do so, even though it may be a little bit uncomfortable at first. Guide the right hand to the chest and stroke up and down along your throat. Picture that gold and white light. Picture it covering your hands while you do the stroking motion. Allow yourself to cough. Puking can happen and it's okay. You'll notice a foul taste. Keep coughing and it will start coming up on its own. What we are doing here is a force cleanse on our meridians and expelling toxic chi that is deeply engraved into the neurology. We're breaking up clusters of ISEs and we are reintegrating these fractured parts of ourselves as well. There's a lot of stuff happening in this technique. It is very powerful, and if you really do it, you'll notice a huge shift mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. Keep coughing up all the negative memories and chi in your chest until it feels empty and you feel lighter physically. Once you feel lighter, you'll want to picture white light and let it ride from your tailbone to the back of your head. Let it flow up and down and keep breathing it in until it feels full. Lastly, you'll focus on your feet and wiggle your toes and picture magnets underneath your feet that keep you glued to the floor. This is done for grounding and neurological reset.